Sometimes you've just had too much and you gotta recall somebody. Hey, let's recall Steve Sisolak. Let's recall Mayor Goodman. Why not? We'll just recall people that we don't like because it's super easy and doesn't cost very much to start a petition. So the news is that Carolyn Goodman is going to be recalled, maybe. And wow, these dogs are pretty unhappy with me. And this is all started by a former poker superstar, or maybe, I don't know. I don't know the game of poker. Doug Polk. Doug Polk is not a Nevada resident, but that doesn't seem to matter to him because he loves this city very much. And he said that we should recall Mayor Carolyn Goodman because she's crazy and can't form coherent sentences. Now, my name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. Like, share, subscribe to videos. Hit the bell for the future notifications. If you want to be in the credits of the video, go ahead over to Patreon. If you guys want to wear some cool Vegas stuff, I just started putting the Vegas mask on things. So far, we have the Vegas sign. We have Vegas Vic. Wow, those are pretty neat. Anyhow, it all goes to help the channel when you guys do like, share, subscribe, and comment. And let us know if you think Carolyn Goodman should be recalled. Now, I'm not an apologist for anybody, quite frankly. I will look at things and try to be balanced, right? And I tell you to do the same thing. So let's look at the facts. The facts are there's two different recalls now. There's the first one that was instituted for Steve Sisolak way back in February. I saw a sign for that a long time ago, and I didn't think much of it until Sisolak started acting not so much like a leader, but more or less like somebody who didn't really have a plan. But now we have a recall for Carolyn Goodman. Wow, geez Louise, are you kidding me? Yeah, so Doug Polk, guy played poker for a long time, has a huge online following and looks like he really knows how to market himself incredibly well. He doesn't live in Nevada. He is not a resident of Nevada, but that doesn't matter because under the laws here, anybody can say you should be able to recall somebody else. First of all, let's think about changing those laws. I don't think it's correct to have some kind of big, huge star come out. Could you imagine if, I don't know, Beyonce came out and said, recall Mayor Goodman? I mean, you would have the required amount of signatures within a few hours, and then it would completely flip our election process upside down. It would be a popularity contest, Beyonce versus Carolyn Goodman. Pretty sure Beyonce wins in that, considering her following versus our mayor's. There's a goat behind me. Hi, goat. Anyways, so with that being said, you have a guy who spent a lot of time in Las Vegas, but from what I can tell in my research, because it's hard to be able to tell, maybe he is a resident and you guys can correct me, he doesn't seem to live here. KTNV Action News is running it, all these people are running it. He's saying that, you know, Carolyn Goodman is terrible. She is not leading us well. She obviously doesn't know anything. She can't form coherent sentences. Obviously, he's referring to the Anderson Cooper interview, which we've covered here on the channel. I did a video on this that was not biased, but upset some people, so I threw that on Patreon. It's an exclusive over there. And I did talk about it and analyze it the best I could. But Doug wants to recall her. So it's strange, isn't it? This is a guy who, according to some YouTube videos that I can't substantiate if it happened or not, was responsible for almost a pump and dump type scheme with Bitcoin. This is a guy who is either loved, adored, or hated in poker circles. This is a guy who really knows how to market himself, who in a downtime in the economy right now is getting a lot of notoriety by saying things like, recall Carolyn Goodman. So there is all that. So before you think about, yeah, we should just recall her, just consider if that's the reason that he's doing this. Secondly, ask yourself a question. Right now, we have all of this division going on amongst our ranks. You have the people that want to open up the economy. You have the people that want to keep it closed until a vaccine is available for everybody in 18 months. You have Republicans, you have Democrats. Carolyn happens to be an independent, just so you know. Her term just got reelected. She's not out of office until 2023. Why is there so many clothes on the side of the road out here? That's very strange. And, you know, she's in office right now doing the best she can with what she has to work with. Again, I'm not an apologist for anybody. I'm just stating the facts. So what do you want to do right now? Do you want to force a mayoral recall, which forces people out to the polls at a time when some people think we shouldn't even be leaving our houses? Do you want to have some mail-in ballot debacle, which will cause everybody to get mad when their side says that they lost because of mail-ins? Do you want people to be standing outside in line waiting to vote? Hey, look, It only requires about 64,000 signatures to get her recall going and in order. He has 90 days to do it. Now, I don't know if the person who get the signature has to even be a resident of Las Vegas. I think they have to be hard signatures. You can't just do this kind of stuff digitally. But again, it begs the question, is it even worth doing right now? Or are we just sowing discontent amongst a populace that is already divided? I'm going to go and say, you tell me, first of all, tell me what you think. But I would prefer that right now we have unity. The mayor said a bunch of stupid things on television. She went up against a super veteran news reporter and anchor who's been all over the world and seen disaster areas, covered Hurricane Katrina, waded out into the floodwaters. Although some say that was staged, so I can be fair and unbiased on that as well. But he seemed so stressed out that he took off his glasses and, oh, Carolyn, I can't believe you said that. CNN got their gotcha moments. They got what they needed for the social media. The mayor got a dose of reality of what happens when you enter into an international scale with super duper high and highly skilled interviewers. She realized that she wasn't in Vegas anymore, just like how, they realized they weren't in Kansas anymore. Wizard of Oz, Dorothy reference right there for you guys. And she realized that she needs to put better people around her so she can know what people are going to ask. She also learned a valuable lesson about what you say coming back to haunt you, which is something that her husband never had to deal with. Remember Oscar? He said things like we should cut off the thumbs of graffiti artists and put people in prison if they feed the homeless. Those things never came back to haunt Oscar. Oscar also lived in a much, much different time and era as mayor. He lived in a time when the internet wasn't so prolific? I think I just made up that word. He was a mayor at a time when you could get away with things that were a little less sensitive issues to people. So she made a bunch of mistakes. She went on camera, said a bunch of stupid asinine things. But to her benefit, I work in an industry where everybody seems to kind of know each other, and I've heard only good things about the mayor. I've heard her do amazing things for small businesses during this troubled time, and I think that will be lost in the message of whatever went up on CNN with Anderson Cooper. I also think that this is just a case of her having to ask for forgiveness if she's big enough to do so and say that I wasn't prepared for the interview. I would like a do-over if Anderson would have me, and explain herself a little bit better so we can know what's going through her mind, because I'm surely know that no right-minded person wants people to get sick. But Doug Polk seems to think that she's incoherent and blathering. People make fun of her, say she was drinking or off her meds. Is that really fair? Have you said anything, you personally watching this video, have you said or done anything in the last 2 months that's a little bit out of character for you? Because I know I certainly have, and I know that it's easy right now. We're at home, nothing's working the way it should be. She has to deal with hundreds of thousands of emails and calls. So again, I'm not an apologist for the mayor, but I don't know if it's fair to say that that's it. We need her out of office, kick her out of office, force an election right now when we need unity more than anything else. So I don't think it's worth it personally, but you might think it's worth it, and you have every right to think it's worth it too if you think that the mayor did such a bad job representing Las Vegas, that there's no going back. If you think she damaged the local business community, if you think that people are going to choose not to come to Las Vegas just because of what she said, you tell me in the comments below. But it seems to me like it's easy to point fingers, it's easy to wag fingers, to not know what's going through another person's mind. We have to really be importantly looking at the source of what's happening. We have to take a look at why they're doing it. We have to put all those dots together to get to the punchline. So, should we recall the mayor? Well, I mean, a lot of people are going to take the mantle on this. The way it works is that you have to have 63,000 signatures in the case of her. I believe it's 2/3 or 1/3. I can't recall right now. Recall, get it? Funny pun. But I'll link you guys to an article in the description of this video so you can read about the rules on how recalls work. Again, you can do them if you're not even a resident. That's not a requirement. How fair is that? Next thing you know, you're going to have Ariana Grande saying that the governor of Florida should be recalled, or just people that don't like other people who have some celebrity status saying these things. But hey, what do I know? I'm a YouTuber with a camera walking in the middle of a dirt field. Welcome to Nevada. This is generally what you get. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the links below if you guys want to be in the credits, or if you guys like those mask things, or if you guys want to go over and check out our Facebook group. Be loving to see you there. This is the time in the video where I say, where am I? And I go 3, 2, 1, click. So 3, 2, 1, and click.